Hello everyone, and welcome to a new vlog series for my channel, which I am calling Conquering Colourwork. As you may know if you've been watching my podcast, one of my goals for this year in terms of my crafting and my knitting specifically is that I would like to kind of, well, conquer colourwork, I guess. Colourwork has always been a challenge for me. The only projects I have ever finished that contain any stranded colourwork of any kind are gnomes, and they are very small projects. And I have tried some other things in the past, and I have just ended up frogging them because I've lost interest or I've just kind of not done it. And I don't really know why I've struggled with it, because I have no issues following a colourwork chart. I do a lot of cross stitch, so that kind of charted kind of thing, no worries at all. I also tend to follow charts if I'm doing lace patterns and cable patterns and stuff like that, so it's not an issue with reading charts in any way. So yeah, I don't know what it is. But this is the year that I am going to challenge myself to try and conquer colourwork. And I thought it would be quite fun to do it as a little vlog series. So my idea is that each of the videos will tackle one project. So I have no idea how long it's going to take for this video to actually be finished. It could be 6 months. We'll see. It depends how well the project goes. But I thought I would start with telling you about the project that I'm going to be trying and everything like that, and then I will show you the yarn and all of that kind of stuff, and we'll have little regular check-ins throughout the project where I can kind of let you know how I'm feeling about it, how I'm getting on, anything I'm struggling with, anything that I'm finding really helps me, and hopefully by the end of the video we will have a finished colourwork project. I'm going to start with a hat. I think that is where I'm going to start. I do have, hang on a second, it's up here somewhere. I did get for Christmas the Doodle Knit directory book, which has all kinds of ideas for colourwork projects. And initially I was thinking about trying that and picking the hat pattern from here. But honestly, I just wanted to start with something where all of the thinking was already done for me. So I had a little chat with a friend of mine and had a little look on Ravelry, and I settled on, I'll put it on the screen just here. I settled on this pattern, which is the Alaska hat by Camillie Descoteaux. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is a fingering weight hat, which I'm wondering if that is the best idea. I'm wondering if I should have started with DK, but I did go with fingering because that is predominantly what I have in my stash. I didn't want to buy any more yarn for this project. I wanted to use yarn that I already had in stash. And I don't have a lot of DK in stash, especially not in colours that were going to work for colourwork. Because one of the things that they often say is that you need a good contrast between your two colours to make colourwork work well. And as you can see with this hat, you need kind of a darker colour for the trees, the brim, and I don't know whether I'll do a pom-pom. I'm not. We'll find out. And then a lighter colour for the background. So this is the yarn that I've gone for. I have dug these out of my stash. So first of all, we have this teal colour, which is not going to show up well in the lighting here. This teal colour from Mr. B, who are now Bird Street UK, I think. This is an old colourway. And it is the Photonic colourway. It's just a 75-25 merino nylon in 4-ply weight, and then I am pairing it with this skein of yarn from Spectrum Fibres. This is Oasis, and again it's a 75-25. This one is a slightly higher twist. They're slightly different bases, but I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, they're the two colours that I am going with. So this dark teal will be for the band and the trees, and then this lighter colour will work for the background. And I think that'll work really nicely in a hat. So yeah, they're the colours that I am going to go with, and we are going to give this hat a try. I did bring my ball winder and Swift home from the studio because all of this week I picked the colours earlier in the week and I was like, I'll take them to the studio and get them caked up. I'll take them to the studio. Did I remember? No, not at all. So it got to Friday and I was like, I still haven't caked up this yarn to start this project. So I've brought my ball winder and Swift home so that I can cake it up here and get started, and that is the plan. So I hope you enjoy joining me on my colourwork journey. And And yeah, fingers crossed it goes to plan. Okay, we have our yarn caked and ready to go. Now I just need to pick a project bag. That's all. I thought that was where my project bags are. Apparently not. I've obviously moved things around. Where have the project bags gone? Are they in that one? They're in that one. I moved things around at some point. I don't know why. Project bag for a hat. Oh, all the Christmassy ones are at the top. I don't think we want a Christmas project bag, do we? What do we fancy? Oh, do you know what? This one, because it's all trees. This one here, I think, because it has lots of trees on it. It's from the lovely Emma at Eldenwood Craft. She's got her little stamp in there. So yeah, I think that's a fitting project bag for the first Colourwork project. So look, yarn is going in. Now I just need to find needles and get cast on. What I will do is I will catch up with you when I have finished the ribbing. So I am back with an update. I have finished the rib. I was supposed to do, I think nearly 3 3/4 inches, nearly 4 inches of rib, and it was supposed to be a folded brim, but I don't want a folded brim. So I decided not to do that, and I've done, I don't know, about 2 inches of rib maybe, something like that. So it's still a decent amount of brim, but I'm not going to be folding it up for a double brim. But that means it's time to start the colourwork. I've got one round as like a setup round where you put in stitch markers between all of the different colourwork repeats. So I'm going to do that, and then we will get started on giving the colourwork a go. The only thing I'm slightly hesitating with in terms of this pattern is that it looks like there will be some sections where you have quite long floats, and I'm not confident on how to pick up the floats. So I may need to have a little look on YouTube and see if I can find any tutorials for kind of picking up the floats and kind of securing the floats a bit more at the back. But let's give it a go, shall we? Hello everyone, time for a colourwork update. Apologies if there is background noise today. You might be hearing the washing machine and the tumble dryer because they are going. I also have children at home, even though it's a Friday. And you may hear wind because the children are at home because today is Friday, the day of Storm Eowyn, and our schools in Dundee are all closed. We're in the amber weather warning, so it's not actually been too horrendous where we are. I know there's been reports of roofs coming off big buildings in the centre of Dundee and things like that, so there's definitely reason for things to be closed, but we seem to be pretty sheltered so far. It's about 3 o'clock So far, the most exciting thing to happen here is that our plastic watering can has had a little trip around the garden in the wind, and that's about the extent of it. But I thought it would be a good day, seeing as the kids are off, and therefore I have been forced to take a day off as well. It would be a good day to do a little bit of work on my Colourwork hat and update you. So I am, I think, just over or maybe about halfway through the Colourwork chart. I was about to check, but then I've just realised that you are on my phone, because normally I would be recording on my camera, but I left my camera at the studio, not expecting to be not going back to the studio. So I'm not expecting to need my camera. Yeah, okay, so I am on row 21 of the chart, and there are 35 rows in the chart. So I'm a little over halfway through the chart. This is how it is looking at the moment. I feel like we are starting to get a feel for the trees now, which is really good. I am enjoying it. I do find it requires concentration. That's my biggest issue, is that it definitely requires concentration. And because a lot of my knitting time is in an evening, and I'm often tired, that's often why I reach for simpler, more kind of garter stitch, you know, projects that you don't have to necessarily think while you're working on. So I think that's one of the issues I've had with Colourwork in the past, maybe. But I am trying to pick moments during the day, like today, for example, where I can't work, and I'm trying to pick time at the weekends and stuff like that, where I can work on it, so that I've got kind of the brain power, I guess, to be working on it. But yeah, I feel like it is going well so far. I have obviously still got loads of yarn left. I had 100 gram balls of each. I'm probably only going to use less than 50 grams of each. So I'm thinking next project potentially, ooh, there goes the wind again. I'm thinking next project potentially I might use the same yarns and maybe try and do a pair of mittens or something like that. So that they would be like not quite a matching set, because I won't find, well, I've not looked actually whether the Alaska hat has a coordinating mitten pattern, but it would be nice to have kind of matching hat and mittens, even if the Colourwork pattern isn't the same. Oops, I was not being sensible and I have nearly dropped a stitch there. In fact, let me, while I am holding these and wiggling them about, let's stick the needle stoppers on the end, shall we, so that we don't lose stitches. But yeah, so far so good. I am enjoying it. I'm not finding any issues, I said before, with following the chart. I'm definitely seeing the trees now. I'm really happy with my colour choices. I think it'll be interesting to see once it's blocked out, to see whether I do manage to even up some of those stitches. One thing I'm particularly finding is that because I am trying my best to hold the yarns, see if I can actually do this while we're on camera. So what I am trying to do is hold the yarn so that, except I've got them twisted now. Get out the way, yarns. So what I'm trying to do is hold the yarn so that I have got the dark colour in, I know I'm looking in the wrong place. It's because I'm on my phone and not my camera. The camera lens is there, not where I am. Anyway, so what I am trying to do is hold the darker green colour in my right hand and the lighter colour in my left hand, which has absolutely helped me stop getting all tangled up, because that's often one of the issues that I've had with Colourwork, is that my yarns have just got tangled and it's frustrated me constantly. So it's definitely stopped me getting tangled up and made that a lot easier. But what I'm finding is that my stitches with this hand are a lot tighter than my stitches with this hand, which means that throughout the whole thing, the I don't know if you can tell, but throughout the whole thing, oh yeah, you can definitely see there, the green, the dark, I keep saying, I know it comes across as blue, it is like a dark teal, so like those teal stitches are a lot tighter than the paler stitches, and I think you can kind of see that coming across, but that will just come with practice, I guess. I feel like my floats are looking pretty good. I am managing to pick them up and catch them. I'm trying to catch them where I've got longer sections like this, where the floats obviously need to be caught at the back. I'm trying to catch them every kind of 4 to 5 stitches, something like that. But yeah, that's making it nice and neat on the back, and hopefully I'm not pulling them too tight. I guess we will see when I have finished it and we come to block it and things like that. But yeah, good progress being made so far. I am going to crack on with this. I am actually hoping that over this weekend I might manage to get the colourwork finished on this. And then it shouldn't be too much longer to actually get the hat finished, I'm guessing, because yeah, the brim of the hat will be quite nice, and you'll be doing decreases, so there's less stitches on the needle every time as well. But yeah, that's how we're doing with the Alaska hat so far. Just a very quick update to say I have finished the colourwork chart. So we have an almost finished hat. I just need to keep working in this lighter colour for a little bit. I think it's about, I don't know, an inch or something, and then start the decreases for the crown of the hat. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will come back with a full kind of catch up and show you how it is once I've finished. Right, I have a finished hat. I can't remember if I've already shown you that. Possibly I have. I've lost track of what clips I have and haven't shown you, but it is a few days after I finished the hat, and I thought I would just sit down and kind of finish off this vlog and have a little chat about it. So here it is. Here is the finished Alaska hat. I'm really liking the look of it on the camera, actually. It's quite funny how it looks so different when I hold it up to the camera. I don't know. I'm really happy with how the colourwork came out. I'm really happy with the colours I chose. I will pop it on quickly for you. I do have my hair up in a ponytail, but even with my hair up in a ponytail, it fits very nicely. So the sizing, I'm really, really happy with. Couple of things. One, I haven't blocked this yet, so maybe blocking it will solve all issues. I don't think it will, but you can quite clearly see the difference in tension, I think, between my dark stitches and my light stitches. I held the dark yarn in my right hand and the light yarn in my left hand, and I definitely have a much tighter tension with my normal kind of knitting hand, if that makes sense. As opposed to my left hand, which had a much looser tension. I haven't quite worked out how to hold the yarn properly to kind of tension it in my left hand. So that is just definitely something that will come with practice. And things, you know, that it's all about practice, isn't it? This is the first kind of proper colourwork project that I have finished that isn't a gnome. So there's bound to be little bits and pieces. But I don't think it's terrible. There's a couple of little spots. Excuse the state of my hands. I have been dyeing yarn today. They are washed. It's just stained. Although I have found a really good soap that I have at home and I must bring to the studio. I have some. This is a tangent now. I have some. I think it's a Krenaken. I think it might be Krenaken. I can't remember. Anyway, it's from the Highland Soap Company. It's like a bar soap. And it's brilliant. I will like have hands like this. I will have washed my hands multiple times during the day with hand wash or even washing up liquid and stuff like that at the studio. I will go home, I will use our upstairs bathroom where this soap happens to be. I will wash my hands with this soap, and all of a sudden the foam is coming out like whatever colour my hands are, and it is brilliant. I need to bring a bar of it to the studio. Anyway, all of that to say, please ignore the state of my hands. What was I saying about this? Yes, there are a few bits like here where my floats have obviously pulled a little bit tight. If I kind of tug it, it's fine. And I think that's where blocking is going to help. You can see there's a few little sort of bobbly bits here where I think it's just got, you can see where I've obviously pulled my floats a little bit tight, and I think I just need to give it a bit of a block to see if I can even that bit out. So yeah, all in all, very, very happy with the colourwork. I'm really happy with how I did with it. I think I might have messed up slightly at one point, but I can't find it now. I think I was just off a stitch. I think, yeah, it's here. On this little tree here, can you see? I was a stitch out. So it's meant to have a straight line, like
that one does. It's meant to have a straight line like that one does, but I've obviously somehow got a stitch out there and it doesn't have a straight line. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to spot it. And it didn't seem to affect the rest of my round, strangely. So I obviously just got my numbers muddled up or something like that. But yeah, in terms of the pattern, really easy to follow. I used the chart for the colour work, which I was more than happy with. The only thing I would say is I'm not the biggest fan of these decreases. And I don't think I did them wrong. I double checked it multiple times. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of these decreases. I feel like they're just a little bit bulky in the way that they kind of sit at the top of the hat. I've definitely seen hats that have neater decreases at the top. That's my only kind of thing with the pattern that I would say. But it's functional and it's practical and it worked, and it gave me decreases for the crown of the hat. They're just not my favourite decreases for a hat that I've ever knit. So yeah, that is it. My first colourwork project finished. I am planning to continue these vlogs, because my thought now is that I've got so much yarn left over from this project. I'm going to use these two colours again, and I'm going to knit myself a pair of mittens. I've been having a little look through some mitten patterns, and I will pick one out and we will start a pair of mittens, and I will do what I've done with this vlog, and we will vlog through the process of that pair of mittens getting knit, basically. So yeah, Conquering Colourwork Project 1 has been completed, which I'm really happy about. So I will see you in Conquering Colourwork Project 2, I guess. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me on my colourwork journey as I try and conquer my colourwork. I don't really know. Conquer colourwork in general. Let's just stick with that. I can never think of anything else to say. So if you have watched this whole video and you've enjoyed my colourwork shenanigans, then please leave me a tree emoji, because why not, in the description box down below, and I will see you again in another video very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.